Hey y'all, I'm probably gonna edit this, but we're out here thanks to the big boss, Queen Lizzie. I'm out here and you're probably seeing my Logic screen where I'm doing a nice final tweaks of something, which is some basic EQ. So I have a simple drum pattern that comes around, but I'm working on extending the kick drum. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this track, and then I'm going to grab all of these and then I'm going to drag them to here, and then on this channel I will remove all the kick drums. So for those of you who see, the one on the bottom is the kick. I got rid of that. So what I'm doing is I'm separating the drums on a different channel. I get to put drums.
And this layout, right, that you have over here, you said that you were playing certain like keys in the guitar live, right?
Yeah, I played most things all the way through. So this track, I'm getting rid of my little snare, and then I'm keeping the kick drum on this track. So now if you see these two tracks isolated, I get to put drums, and then this is going to be the kick. So the problem I was having is the kick wasn't that loud. So here's the drums. Now I'm going to go to the EQ. Since I'm doing the snare, I don't need any of that on there. I can get rid of all the low end, and then boom, get that going in. See how I can make that sound a little bit different. So here's my drums. They're very unique sounding drums, but you'll hear it. And I'm gonna boost the kick. Over here, and there's a delay going on right there, so I'm just gonna grab this section, loop it, grab that, turn up the velocity, hit a little harder. It sounds like madness, but it's always in context because the drums are just really what I'd call a little like subtle sound in this track. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna turn up the volume of the kick. There we go. Nice. Then I grab this, I highlight that, I double click. Here's all my kick drums. I'm gonna hit a lot harder. Okay, I boosted that up. And yeah, this philosophy on this is, once again, like I said, is one take. So there's a couple of instruments that was real simple. One take of my vocals, one take of the Rhodes, the drums. I did cut those up and create two sections, a guitar, a bass, and a sax. So with just these few instruments, you'll hear something like this.
Yeah. They threw him in the fire cause the iron got him cussed. Said he was denying but they dying him with a buzz. They don't wanna get it cause the cops will get the bus. And always told the truth until they riding on the bus. And ain't nobody see it, man, they said it was trust. They said that it was love until she falling for the lust. I looked up in disgust at the man up in the mirror, and felt that every single day it always caused a terror. I never made an error if I'm falling in this error. Till the DJ got a scratcher like a saying error, error. I would never ever ever land like my name was Peter. Still don't feel comfortable comfortable without a heater. If you see they wanna eat her, I can see it, they can read her. They don't wanna say how it is. Somebody had to beat her, I can say it was just neither. I don't even gotta go, cause we all in competition with ourselves. You gotta grow if you gotta know the obstacles you face it. Gotta love it, chase it. I'ma get it wasted, erase it, to face it, to face it. The man of the cause to disappear how it is, and any plan, any flaws. God, I'm a gods. I'm in Adam with even. If they say how it is and they ain't get Adam, it's even. They don't see how they live until they fighting with reason. Till the devil's got disciples and they fighting with heathens. Said that it was me and for the miscreants, and they called up that was decent. They locked him in the precinct cause he said he wouldn't tell him. Put him behind bars and labeled him a felon. No matter how it is, circle we're like it's Magellan. And the people over here with the fake, we never gelling. Somebody could tell him, hell and kill him. It don't matter to me, they deaf and dumb and blind and they could sell him. Anything out the pocket, we letting off the rockets. We did it, they couldn't stop it. Running in the mosh pit that we call life. Did it all our lives, never could've get it. Even guns throughout the knives. See how it is there now, I'm like the cats. Bring it all back till we never react. Just a moment of fact, just a moment of black. In a world of white supremacy, everybody in the man is fucking enemies. Can't live with no jealousy.
So yeah, you hear me chewing the cashews.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, man. I feel like in music, we all work toward getting it right. But then when I realized like things are just a moment, so I found myself like working on rewriting the track. And then I was like, oh, should I quantize this? Should I do this? And then I was like, yo, wait a minute. But what happened is I just found myself listening back to it. And then there's these parts where I'm just like, yo, I said some shit. Like, I was like, yo, a moment of black in a world of white supremacy where everybody and their man is your fucking enemy. Can't live with no jealousy. And then you hear me laughing and then chewing on these cashews. And it's like, yo, this shit is hilarious. And what I liked about it was like everything is kind of like one pass, you know? And I was like, and because my dude Emajor, shout out to Emajor, he was playing the keys, because usually how I compose something is I'll be like, okay, let me freestyle it, yo, play something, then I find like the perfect loop, or then I'm like, oh, these 4 bars are real good, let me use that, and then I build it. So with this one, I was like, you know what if I just kept all these things that were one take? And because nothing is really a loop with the exception of these drum sections that pop in for a little bit, I was just like, nah, you know what? It takes more courage to be able to put something out that's like weirder, you know, like that could not be understood. And I was like, in this world where we have this software that you could make everything perfect, you can make everything, you know, the way that you want it, and you could use the tools to get it this way. It's almost like I'm striving to be more human. And I was like, well, you know what, that requires not aiming for perfection but to aim for authenticity. And I was like, you know what's the number one feeling I got in music right now? It's like just to put out stuff that feels authentic. Running Away was like authentic to me. And I was like, what's the most authentic thing I could do that will allow me to continue and do what I need to do as an artist? And I was like, well, you know what? This one makes sense because, you know, my man John is on the sax, Emajor's on the keys, and then everybody just did one take. And it kind of has a spoken word approach to it where I almost think of those homeless people that are by the garbage cans on fire. And like, yo, when you're talking to me, I might say like, yo, what the fuck is up? When are we hearing that in our tracks, you know? So I was like, you know what? Let me capture a humane moment. So the thing that's up for debate on this, which I was talking to you about, is like, I call it gray originally. I think it's because I was recording it on a gray day. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the title? You heard a bit of the madness, So, but yeah, what do you feel?
I like the word gray because it's like in the middle. Hold on, give me a
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like he always does it right when I'm about to say something. But I like the gray because it's in between light and dark. And
Mm-hmm.
you were talking about authenticity and being, real to the state of humanity. And I don't know if you read into the Telegram thing where I said that there was many words that was brought to my attention
Mm-hmm.
the day before. And they said the natural state of being is chaos and darkness. And this person, she stated, like, how soon after you cut your hair does your hair grow back? Or you
Mm.
cut the grass and it's growing again, or like you clean your room and then it's already dirty again. Chaos is the natural state of
It's a
this
natural state
reality.
of being. Yeah.
Yeah. So I relate that to this because I'm like, you mentioned how you normally quantize it and get it into a perfect
Yeah.
time signature and stuff. And you can hear the slight like off beats,
Yeah.
of the instrumental and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and then you chewing on that was my favorite part with the chewing the
Mm-hmm.
cashew and you still speaking, you're trying to get the words out, and that's so
Yeah.
human,
Can't live with no jet.
when we're
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, it's so beautiful. So I feel like gray is beautiful because it speaks also to you and your nature.
Mm.
Always like, omnipresent. That's literally combining both light and dark, transcending the idea of duality, of separation, and then just combining both. And that gives you gray. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's my interpretation of that.
Love it. Yeah, I'm writing some of that down. So I think, fuck it, we might keep the gray. So this is what I'm gonna do. I made those adjustments. So if
Mhm.
you look at this for anybody who's into mixing or that, is you see these squiggly lines, right? It's always lines, and these are delays that I put in. I program. This is panning, and then I color code things to help me remember what it is. And then now I'm gonna just give it a little listen again. God knows how this is gonna sound, but also I put myself on deadlines to be like, yo, that's it. So I'm gonna mute myself, Liz. Let me know if you still hear it.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. They threw him in the fire cause the iron got him cussed. Said he was denying, but they dying him with a buzz. They don't wanna get it cause the cops will get the bus. And always told the truth until they riding on the bus. And ain't nobody see it, man, they said it was trust. They said that it was love until she falling for the lust. I looked up in disgust at the man up in the mirror and felt that every single day it always caused a terror. I never made an error if I'm falling in this error. Till the DJ got a scratcher like a saying error, error. I would never, ever, ever land like my name was Peter. Still don't feel comfortable without a heater. If you see they wanna eat her, I can see it, they can read her. They don't wanna say how it is. Somebody had to beat her, I can say it was just neither. I don't even gotta go, cause we all in competition with ourselves. You gotta grow if you gotta know the obstacles you face it. Gotta love it, chase it. I'ma get it wasted, erase it, to face it, to face it. The man of the cause to disappear how it is, and any plan, any flaws. God of a gods, I'm in Adam with even. If they say how it is and they ain't get Adam, it's even. They don't see how they live until they fighting with reason. Till the devil's got disciples and they fighting with heathens. Said that it was me and for the miscreants. And they called up that was decent. They locked him in the precinct cause they said he wouldn't tell them. Put him behind bars and labeled him a felon. Matter how it is, circle we're like it's Magellan. And the people over here with the fake, we never gelling. Somebody could tell him, hell and kill him. But the matter me, they deaf and dumb and blind and they could sell him. Anything out the pocket, we letting off the rockets. We did it, they couldn't stop it. Running in the mosh pit that we call life. Did it all our lives, never could've get it. Even guns throughout the knives. See how it is there, now I'm like the cats. Bring it all back till we never react. Just a moment of fact, just a moment of black. In a world of white supremacy, everybody in the man is fucking enemies. Can't live with no jealousy.
There we go. All right, it's
Yo,
great.
the walnut part, I feel like you have them in your hand and you shaking them like dice, and then you go.
That's what it was. And I was like, that's a real moment, man. You know, like I was like, yo, we out here. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just adding a side chain. So when those kick drums hit, and I put a little delay on it, so that when I go into ultra beat, let's see the kick. Yeah, it's so cool to see these kind of things. So I'm just adjusting the side chain level so that when this kick drum hits, it ducks down the bass a little.
Mm-hmm.
The bass is
Buzz, they don't wanna get it cause the cops will get the bus. And always told the truth until they riding on the bus. And ain't nobody see it, man, they said it was trust. They said that it was love until she falling for the lust. I looked up in disgust at the man up in the mirror and felt that every single day it always caused a terror.
Yep, so there you go. So I'm gonna bounce that out. I'm gonna send that to you. So for those of y'all who tuned in, it's a little glimpse into the process. And I think a big thing is experimentation. Like, I've been sharing shit with Liz on Zoom. Who would have fucking thought, right? And I listen to it on my headphones. And yeah, I feel like a big thing as an artist, and you guys can see some of the settings I have on here. There's so many people that'll tell you how to EQ shit and do that. I'm not here to tell you that. Like, you got YouTube, they'll take care of that for you. But I do say this, use the tools to paint something authentic, and versus trying to make something that is like perfect. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with achieving excellence, but the truth is people really only feel things that are connected to an emotion. So I think the main thing is to look for a feeling and look for an emotion. So I appreciate y'all. And then this is what we do. We hit Command B. We bounce it out. Boom, boom. And we'll call it gray. I'm going to replace the other one. Let's go. Bounce. Replace. Replace. Yep. And the big thing that I'm learning, guys, is like, take this stuff out of the computer, get it out there while you're doing the process. Look, you guys are hearing the process, and then Liz was like, yo, we should record this. And I was like, okay, good. We out here. Like, what else can you do? So we did it. Dropping the screen. Yeah, Liz, what's your thoughts on just the creative process? And I know you've been cranking out tunes, you've been writing tunes, you've been producing now, so
Happening a little bit of everything, share.
yeah, how's your process been evolving as you gain more consistency and knowledge?
So I want to say now that we've had our discussions, because like I used to write or still kind of do write songs to like instrumentals that I find on YouTube and stuff, and then I do, it's just foundation and stuff, and I'll just generate my ideas like that. But you encouraged me to start producing beats to my lyrics, because then that way I have full ownership and then can do the royalty things and get paid for it, and that's a whole new experience. Because I remember back in Urban Art Bee days, I tried the whole, creating loops and stuff, and it wasn't like my cup of tea. But I see the benefits of it now, and as having gone through the experience of not just urban art beat, but going to Celia Cruz and then, music afterwards, I see the benefits and I do find joy in it because, I can start really articulating what I hear within my mind or within my spirit, actually, because art is connecting to spirit and source. And, yeah, so it's like a new step on my journey, on my musical journey, and you know it's been great learning these new things and realizing the benefits, and as well as falling in love with music all over again because I'm learning something different than I'm used to. But yeah, that's where I'm at so far with my music interesting.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm in this with y'all, and like I'm planning out. So I think we'll let this clip cut right there, and just say trust your voice, man. Like this is art. Art is not like, you can't be like, this is what makes good art. It has this and that. Like, art is subjective. So the ultimate subject is you, the artist. So do things, and I say it like this. Here's your comfort zone, right? If this is your comfort zone, let me make a circle. Go on the edge of your comfort zone. So if this was it, like, push yourself right beyond it. Because if you stay here in your comfort zone, you're never gonna grow. Now also for that, once you've been making art a certain amount of time, you're gonna get stuck into what you know. But why my moniker has a question mark is, look at what you don't know. And how can you grow into walking from point A to B in a different way? So for anybody who's making music, I'm learning too. My biggest hurdle in music is putting out music. I make music, I write music, I play with music, I produce music for other people, I write with other people. But do I take the time to make the mix, finalize it? I was always like, oh, I gotta get a mixing engineer, mastering engineer. I was setting myself to things that would wait. It puts me at the mercy of someone else. And I'm like, no, I have this tool. I know how to use this tool. I know how to use these tools. I'm gonna work with what I have, and I'm gonna create something that's authentic. So if anything, please use this as inspiration to take yourself to a higher level of understanding of your own being, and know that if you make a move toward getting out of your comfort zone, that's where everything you want lies. Because the truth is, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So if you want new results in life, you got to do new things. And as much as I help other people with music, if I don't go put out records and songs and come up with ways like this to let y'all know about it, and this is what I would rather do than say, yo, go listen to my shit on Spotify, and just showing you guys something that will hopefully make you curious. All right, we out.
I give you this picture, so good.
Nice.
I put the filter.
You edited it?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
All right, here we go. We're working on the cover. All right, peace, y'all.